Okay, I don't really do usually off script, more just kind of off the cuff videos, but I just figured I'll just record the audio for this and maybe I'll make it a video. I don't know. So, earlier today, Nintendo revealed that they'll be adding 3 more games to the Super Nintendo Online service. And it's Clay Fighters, Jelly Boy, and Bomboozle. And if you've been following this kind of the games that are on the service already and the idea of what most people want, this is another entry in a list of fairly disappointing reveals for new games on the service. And it's just, I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with these 3 games. 2 of Clay Mates. It actually looks kind of fun. Maybe I'll try that. Who knows? But it's just, you have these big, at least the big 2 that I can think of off the top of my head are Super Mario RPG and Earthbound. Are these 2 big games that people loved on the system, and they're just taking their time on. And it doesn't really make any sense why, because it's like they have the rights to these games. It's like Super Mario RPG is maybe that one is a bit harder because it's technically developed in Square Enix helped develop that, and so it's like maybe they're a bit stingy on that. But then you kind of look at stuff like Sephiroth and Smash Brothers, and it looks like that they haven't been as stingy with their things as of late. So it's like, that why? And then there's Earthbound, which is kind of if I remember correctly, it's HAL Laboratories and Ape Studios with Shigesato Itoi helping develop it. But it's like, first off, it was only for the Nintendo system, and they didn't have any troubles, first off, putting Earthbound on the Wii U and the new 3DS on Virtual Console, but also using an old ROM of the original the original Mother game, calling it Earthbound Beginnings, and also putting that on the Wii U. And it's like, if you could do that now, then why can't you do it now? And it's like, I don't know, because in my opinion, the only games that like have really excited me that have been for the Super Nintendo system that have been revealed post the actual launch with, the big games like Super Mario World, Super Metroid, and then Super Mario Kart, a lot of words of Super in it, that I guess was kind of the Super Nintendo's thing. Just like all these big, good titles like F-Zero, Kirby, and it's like the only games that I remember really happening that were not in the base roster that people were legitimately excited for was the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. And even that took a while, and it's like people were saying, oh, there's licensing issues with that, but it's like I've looked at it a bit, and it looks like that wasn't a licensing issue ever with Rare. It's like they could have done that whenever they wanted to, essentially. And so it's just like, it's annoying that Nintendo's trying to drip feed us these titles that we generally want to play on the Nintendo Switch, and it would bring more customers to Switch Online, but they don't do it, and it makes no sense. And they give us Bomboozle instead of a big heavy hitter, and it's just confusing and doesn't make much sense. Also, something that I noticed is there weren't any NES games on this. I believe this is the first update that has not included an NES game at all. So I wonder if they've just stopped with that. Maybe they won't. Maybe that's just a thing where they just didn't have one for these 2 months because the updates have been happening like every 2 months. So, but who knows? It's like one thing that I like to touch on actually real quick is how I mentioned that it really seemed like they weren't adding any extra like big title games to the Super Nintendo after the base launch of the um platform, except for like the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, and technically also Super Mario All Stars. But even that wasn't during a like regular update. That was for Mario's 35th anniversary, and it's like I can't remember. Maybe Kirby's Dream Land 3 was one that wasn't in the base launch, but still. And then the NES had like they had for a while kind of quality games coming out afterwards. Like I believe Lost Levels came out, and like Mario Bros. 2. They weren't in the base launch, and they were added later. Zelda 2, I think, and a lot of puzzle games, and there's also stuff like the special editions of those games where it's like it's often takes you to like the final stage or something, and which is like souped up with all the like I think with Kid Icarus it just throws you in the final stage and you have all the upgrades and just to feel just for the people who just want to experience the ending of the game again. I think that's with Metroid and Dr. Mario too. It's like they have these little special editions where it's just the right there at the end. And I think the only one that I remember seeing on the Super Nintendo is I believe there's one for Super Mario Kart where it's just Rainbow Road's unlocked. And you can go race on Rainbow Road. And I don't even know. I think that might just be my mind tricking me. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but I don't know. It's just confusing. It doesn't make much sense. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? Do you think Nintendo's been kind of way too slow on dropping these titles that everyone wants onto the system? And or do you think that they're legitimately giving these other games time to shine? What, in my opinion, is just making them even more hated. Like, okay, I'll throw this in, but it's like if they put in Claymates at the same time as Earthbound, there wouldn't be negative reception for Claymates because Earthbound was in there. And it's like even for Super Mario RPG fans, they see Earthbound and it's like, okay, maybe there's actually a chance that we get Super Mario RPG later on. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want. If this random video just showed up in your recommended for no good reason, but you know, subscribe. Yeah, that's a thing. It probably won't show up in your recommended because it looks like this is gonna be under 10 minutes. But hey, who cares? Okay, see ya.